Howdy, folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And tonight we got Trina coming back for more of the Mystic Bible and the Tree of Life, the three trees we went through last time. Wow, that was just great. I hope you all studied up on it, and thank you, Trina, for coming and being here tonight with me.
Oh, thank you for having me. I love talking about this stuff. I love how you can look at different teachings from ancient places, ancient religions, all these different things, and then you can see how the Bible says it, Kabbalah says it, Shiva and Vishnu say it. All these different religions, they speak the same exact language. And I love to find our common grounds rather than looking at the things that we don't agree on. I love to find the things that we simply absolutely do agree on. And these are these kinds of teachings, and they're broad and they go through all religions. So I love them.
Well, and it's the thing is when you get down to the basics, it's like, food and water and air to breathe. I mean, people can't go wrong with that. How are you going to say, I don't agree, we should breathe air? No air for you. No food. Right. You shouldn't eat. No more food. Well, those are the basics of life. I mean, who wouldn't want to know the basics? And that's where no matter which, like we said before, the religions, regardless if you're in a religion or if you're just on a path, those basic fundamentals still stand true. You can't mess with the natural laws of nature, just like gravity. Here, gravity. Yep, it's same here as it is over there.
And I don't think it's actually called gravity, but you can see and redo it over and over and prove it's real. But I think that's the electromagnetic field. That's what creates gravity. It keeps everything pulled into Earth.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's always the same. That's my principal point. It's no matter what you do, you can't escape that natural law here. I mean, you can try all you want, but it seems to, be there. It's just like breathing. Everybody breathes air, and you don't see it, but you know it's there. And that's the essence what we're trying to talk about. And that
so funny. Robert, you're predictive reading my stuff. Would you stop already? You're reading the river.
Okay.
And you didn't even know what it
said. That's, why? Because I'm just a wise wizard.
That's right. That's right. I'm like, you need to stop because you're reading it. You're reading it. You didn't even hear it. That's so synchronistic. It's so beautiful because that's what this is. It's the one river of energy is the psychic prana, which flows out of the etheric realm and becomes gross physical prana, which in turn flows over the nervous system in the body of man. The prana flows over the 5 tattvas as fields and regions in the human body as wireless energy, and before it becomes the gross prana of the nerve impulses and physical actions. Isn't that amazing? You're talking about air and energy, and this is the breath of life, is the energy. The energy is what makes all of it work. So all of it is subtle, invisible energy, and it travels down into the world. And if this is accurate, it is through us. It's through life. It's through all the species and the plants and the animals and the humans. Everything upon this earth is what brings heaven into earth. That we are the receptacles for this beautiful energy. So the downward drive for sensation wastes the precious psychic pranic energy and binds the senses, the mind and the soul to this earthward pull. So these are all of our desires. There is little chance for this fine sensory energy to be purified and drawn upward and inward by concentration when it is exhausted in a downward trend. Not only does this waste of energy prevent one from making spiritual progress, but it also robs the rest of the life force energy currents necessary for maintaining your physical body in perfect health and vigor, because through this wasting or squandering of this precious energy, it uses more than it is naturally appropriated to do, because it's lacking that which what it needed. Only 6 petals are allotted to this lotus or this chakra out of the total of the 52 petals on the tree of life in the body. The energy goes either up or down. If up, it enriches the mind, the function, and the consciousness, and helps to free the soul from its bondage. And this is in quotes, and this is from Genesis 2:10 through 12. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from it thence it was parted, and became into 4 heads. The names of the first was Pison, that which was compasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold, and the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium and onyx stone. The river Pison means current or energy. Havilah, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, I do not know, is the land over which it flows, means sand land, because it was gold. The gold and the onyx stone further complete the definition and the identification in the mystical language of the actual current and where it flows in the little world of the microcosm, our body. This energy or element of fire of the ancients, which creates the first sphere or oval over your head. The brain and the nervous system, and then it flows over it. The brain is the root of the nervous system, like a tree that is upside down. The latter is spoken of in the Bible as a symbolic tree of life. Havilah, sandland, identifies the pituitary and pineal glands by their sand light constituents. The gold spoken of is the energy current of a yellow color, flowing upward over the pituitary and pineal bodies and the optic thalamus, and creates a gold-colored light current, which is pictured as a halo around the head of saintly persons. The Hindus call this current Udana. The onyx stone is the stone spoken of in Revelations as being the center of the forehead at the third eye, or Tisra, Til, the door of the soul, the narrow gateway to the lost world and the higher realms, symbolized by the urus of the Egyptians, which was the thing they wore on the front of their head. Physiologically, we think we cover up all this ground by merely calling this cerebrospinal nervous system. The name, so that's the first river is the cerebral spinal fluid, and it is gold, and it's in its own ocean, and it is captured into the spine and the brain, and it does not leave that system. So that was the first river. The second river is Gihon, which means gusher or intermittent spring or virgin fountain. This applies well to the heart and its beats, the fountain of life in the body. This energy element was called air by the ancients. It creates and sustains the second oval cavity, the chest, with the heart and the lungs. Science calls it the respiratory and circulatory system. The diaphragm is the dividing line. And in polarity, we learn that diaphragm is the gate between heaven, which is the higher consciousness and the higher chakras of your body, and hell is represented in the lower chakras. That's why they say, I throw you into a pit of fire and lava. Think about it. What's the first thing that you meet after you go through the heart? The next thing is digestion. Heart, it's the stomach. So if they were to throw you into the bottomless pit, into the burning lava, in eternal fire, that would be getting thrown into the stomach of the body. So, okay. So this is also, okay, in the human body. Yeah, the diaphragm. So the diaphragm is the elastic functioning firmament which divides the waters or the energies of the above from the below. Two rivers above, fire and air, from the two below, the earth and the water. It is upon this important interaction that life depends. Without the diaphragmatic function, there would be no respiration nor heartbeat. No proper elimination, nor assimilation, nor motion. All those functions would be stopped if it was not for the diaphragm. It is a fixed stabilizer of all body functions. Here also we find the mystic chalice spoken of as a cup, namely the heart, the mixing bowl of life, its principle prana in the air, fire, and water elements. Prana, or the universal life force, which is the same energy as in the sun, uses oxygen as a conveyor, and as we breathe it in as air. The Bible clearly states that the life is in the blood. If the chemical oxygen was the life principle itself, we could prolong life indefinitely under an oxygen tent, which is not the case. Prana is the universal breath of life, also known as the Ruach Elohim by the Hebrews. And when the Elohim breathed into the nostrils of Adam in the form they called man, this form became connected or united with the function of the soul power within, and man became a living, existing soul on the earth. This prana, ruach, or energy flows over each nostril alternately. It enlivens the sympathetic nervous system and links the body to nature in the energy field. So this is what sustains and fortifies your bioelectric field or your auric field. It fires it up and protects it and feeds it. The third river out of Eden is one river called Hiddekel, the Tigris or the Black. And I think we should go into that one on the next one. How are we doing on time, Robert?
We're doing fine. We got 13 minutes or so.
I think, yeah, we'll go next time. We'll start with the next river, which is the third river, because all these four rivers are very important. And those were the first two that we just covered. And I think we'll do the next one for the other two.
All right. Sounds good. This is so
wonderful.
I mean,
I hope you guys are enjoying this and seeing how all these correlations through the ancient religions and the Bible and all of these things, they're all very connected. And if we could start to unify all of these things and stop fighting over whose God's better, I think we're going to have a much happier world. And the truth is we all just kind of want to know who we are, where we come from, and how do we get home when we're done.
that is, because like you were saying something about the thing, they want to take our spark, and they took our spark, and now how do we get back to that? And it's I think a lot of people feel like they don't belong, and maybe that's the thing, is because they come from somewhere else and they were put here, and we've been going through this cycle for so long. It's just missing. It feels like something's missing.
And it's true. But you know what? When you do the inner work, you start to remember who you are. And then you're not so homesick anymore, because at least you understand why you were so homesick. So it makes sense. And then you can start to further dive into, who am I? What was my purpose? Why would I want to incarnate on earth? What did I came here to do? What did I come here to experience? How can I let it all go when it's time to go home? Because your love of this will bring you back to it. So if you truly want to leave and go back to your higher heavenly realms, you're going to have to learn to let go of these drives and these urges and all of these wonderful things that we get to experience while we're in the flesh. So that's why I said sin is the skin you're in, and it's going to be what binds you to this realm if you can't learn to connect more to the energy part of you and drop the physical part of you. And part of that is you have to control the physical body and control the urges while you're in it. It's not like you get to do it after. You have to start the process here now.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you're right when you said people are so connected here, with their physical things, and
Yes.
and they don't want to let go because, well, I really like my stuff. I really enjoy doing this. But then again, is it just toys in this? When you get to the other side, this is just stuff in the end. Because once you're gone, nobody cares.
Once you
about
go,
your stuff.
I think once you go to the other side, you're going to look at everything in this lifetime and you're going to understand that you created all of it.
Yeah.
It's going to blow your mind. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
it'll blow your mind. So I think, go ahead.
But I was going to say you created, but it was an experience. It isn't who you are.
Yes. Yes. And I think a part of how we learn is by running simulations. And I think this is how we, as connected to all that is, to have any understanding of separateness, you have to take on a separate sleeve of identity, which is the soul, to run your own simulations. And I think the whole creative consciousness of God, source, whatever that God, huge God thing is, that's consciousness. Consciousness is learning about its own self through our experiences. So we are co-creating with God because we're the physical part of it, doing and touching and sensing and feeling and controlling these emotions and controlling all these urges in the physical body. And it's a wild ride. And the all of everything, it couldn't experience itself. So it created its children so it could experience its own creation. And I think that's what we're doing. And we're literally running simulations for source as a part of source, a part of God. So we're part of that, working together, and God's imagining and creating us through that imagination. And then that imagination gets into a separate perspective, a separate eye, a separate point of view, because we're all having a different point of view. Even two people in the same room watching the same TV show are not living in the same reality. So with that, all of our points of view is what really makes the fullness of creation and God. It's all of our points of view that make it work. So I think it's going to be cool when we realize how much of a important part of this creation we actually played and we didn't even know it.
Yeah, because people can't wrap their heads around it.
It's kind of hard.
They really can't. They really can't. I mean, yeah. Well, okay. So let's wrap it up there, and we'll come back and maybe we'll say we'll have more wise things next time. So join us next time where we're going to talk about what? The third river.
The third and fourth rivers.
The third and fourth rivers, which I think is.
And guys, this is quick. We'll be done with 2 more quick 10-minute videos with this whole teaching. So it's almost finished. And this is only a part of the Mystic Bible, the only part I could actually even get a hold of. So I thought you guys would want to hear this because it's kind of hard to get a hold of. Apparently, I did find one copy of it over years, and it's a beautiful, beautiful book. So if you can find the Mystic Bible, it's a great read. It really is.
Awesome. Now, remember, everybody, go out and do something nice for your neighbor. It's Halloween, so do something. Make sure you got some candy for the kids. And if there's no kids around, call somebody up and wish them a good day. Because the most important thing out there is being the frequency you want to receive, everyone. Love you all.